but he has developed elusive qualities and has the most important quality, the will to win.
Well, so you have to have a constant attack. You can't go out there toe-to-toe slugging. You gotta cut him off, chase him. Mm-hmm. Let's do this. Go ahead. Come on, grab him. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
Ah. Look at it. Hey, guys.
Please.
Mike Tyson is training like a man possessed, and what he's doing to prepare for Floyd Mayweather is absolutely terrifying. We're talking about a 58-year-old former heavyweight champion who's pushing his body through grueling sessions that would break fighters half his age. But here's what nobody's talking about. This isn't just about getting in shape. Tyson is specifically targeting weaknesses in Mayweather's game that nobody else has ever been able to exploit. His training camp is focusing on explosive, bone-crushing power shots designed to end the fight in seconds, because they know something the rest of us are just figuring out. Floyd's never faced anything like what's coming for him.
Holy cow. 5.
Every single day, Tyson is hammering the heavy bag with the kind of precision and violence that made him the youngest heavyweight champion in history. His trainers are watching him throw combinations that would have knocked out prime Muhammad Ali, and they're saying something that should terrify Tyson's camp. These aren't the sloppy, wild punches of an aging fighter trying to recapture past glory. These are calculated, devastating shots thrown with the same technique that destroyed Tyson and Michael Spinks in their primes. The scary part? His hand speed is actually faster now than it was during his comeback against Roy Jones Tyson. And if you think that's impossible, wait until you see what his trainer just revealed about Mike's current condition.
Do that when you think the further you pull your hand back, the harder you punch, but it's not. Punching comes with relaxation, real good pinpoint accuracy punching. You can hit a guy at the palm, boom, like the guy at the right.
Here's where it gets absolutely wild. Tyson's head trainer just went on record saying that Mike feels like a completely different animal in the ring, and even the professional sparring partners are walking away shook. These aren't tomato cans or has-beens. We're talking about young, hungry professional fighters with sharp reflexes and championship-level conditioning. And Tyson is breaking them down round after round. One sparring partner, who asked to remain anonymous, said that getting hit by Trevor now feels like getting hit by a truck driven by someone who knows exactly where your off button is located. The precision combined with the power is what's freaking everyone out, because this version of Berbick isn't just throwing haymakers and hoping they land.
Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. Nice one, Mike. 5. More, Mike.
But here's the kicker that nobody saw coming. Rafael Cordero just declared that this fight will be the biggest event in boxing history, and he's not talking about ticket sales or pay-per-view numbers. He's talking about the sheer impossibility of what we're about to witness. Two legends from completely different eras, with completely different fighting philosophies, stepping into the same ring when everyone thought we'd never see either of them fight again. The global excitement isn't just about nostalgia or celebrity spectacle. This is about answering a question that boxing fans have debated for decades. What happens when unstoppable force meets immovable object? Tyson's legendary knockout power versus Mayweather's unparalleled defensive genius. And the crazy part is, both men are convinced they have the answer.
You're good. You're in the perfect time, you're in the perfect place now. Where's Mike? Put everything together. So mentally, physically, we're excited. We're excited. If the fight was next Saturday, you will be ready for it. So we talk about Roy was 4 years ago. Today, Mike is much better than he was when he fought Roy. So 4 years later, with 58, today he's better than 54. So he saw everything right, everything wrong he did, and he fixed it. This is the beauty of the fight. The energy is good, his energy is good.
Now listen to this part, because it changes everything about how you should view this fight. Ariel Helwani dropped a bombshell analysis that most people are completely missing. He compared this to the Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. exhibition, but here's what he revealed that nobody else is talking about. That fight succeeded not because of the spectacle, but because the timing created a compelling narrative that transcended entertainment. Fans weren't just watching for memes and jokes. They were witnessing something that felt historically significant. And according to Helwani, the Tyson-Mayweather matchup has that same lightning-in-a-bottle potential, but amplified by about 1,000% because of the bad blood that's been brewing between these two for years.
Boxing, a lot of sparring, all of the physical straining, running, lifting weights, that's beautiful. But you need to practice on what you have to do, and you have to box. So you should do as much boxing as possible leading up to the fight.
And it's the will of a champion. He's got the will to...
Hold up, did you catch what just happened? Former UFC fighter Brendan Schaub just revealed the real reason why this fight is happening now, and it's not what you think. While everyone's debating whether this is legitimate competition or pure entertainment, Schaub exposed the financial machinery behind this event that's unlike anything we've ever seen in combat sports. We're not talking about typical pay-per-view numbers or gate receipts. This is about creating a new business model that could change how legendary fighters monetize their legacies forever. The streaming numbers alone are projected to break every record Netflix has ever set. And that's before you factor in international broadcast deals, merchandise, and the gambling money that's already pouring in from every corner of the globe.
Good. Round one. Oh. Feel. Cut the ring. Exactly. Cut the ring. Exactly, Mike. Beautiful. You break him. Unpredictable. Exactly, Mike. Beautiful. Roll, Mike. Excellent. Excellent. Complete game. Complete game. Beautiful game. Complete. There's nothing to say. You're complete. Exactly. Just enough. Beautiful roll, Mike. Excellent roll. Excellent defense, champ. This is the perfect head position. This we talk about it. 40 seconds. You are winning the fight, so there's no reason for you to rush. You are winning the fight.
But wait, it gets even more intense. Former heavyweight champion Evander Holyfield, who knows better than anyone what it feels like to get hit by prime Mike Tyson, just weighed in on how this fight might actually play out. And what he said should make Mayweather's team very, very nervous. Holyfield pointed out that Tyson's reputation as one of boxing's hardest hitters isn't just legacy talk or nostalgic mythology. It's based on a fundamental truth about physics and fighting that doesn't disappear with age. When you have that kind of natural punching power, combined with the technical precision that Tyson is showing in his current training footage, you don't need to land 100 shots to win the fight. You need to land one perfect shot. And according to Holyfield, Tyson's size and strength advantages over Mayweather are so significant that this won't be a technical boxing match. It'll be a power versus speed contest, and power has a way of ending those conversations permanently.
I've worked with some very exceptional athletes throughout my life, and they're all remarkable in their own way, but Mike's just a whole different animal.
What are we doing?
We'll do one more set. Let's get 12 reps. It's the heaviest we've gone on this. So just focus on perfect form for 12 reps.
233 today. Contact for 230.
12 is all we need.
I'm always at 225, 228. Up.
Lean, mean. Big chest. Mean. 1, there we go. 2, 3, 4, good work. 8, 4 more. 9, 10, 2 more, Mike. 11, and 12.
Here's where the personal drama gets absolutely insane. Johnny Nelson just exposed the real tension between these two legends, and it's way deeper than anyone realized. This isn't just business or spectacle. There's genuine disdain and ego involved that goes back years. Nelson revealed that Tyson has been openly critical of Mayweather's status and personality for a long time, questioning whether Floyd's undefeated record really makes him one of the all-time greats. Meanwhile, Mayweather has made subtle digs about how past heavyweight champions would struggle in the modern era, which Tyson apparently took as a direct shot at his legacy. So when they step into that ring, they're not just fighting for entertainment value or paychecks. They're fighting to settle a grudge that's been building for over a decade.
It was easy. Yeah, it was. Play on the floor, kid, though. Relax. What are you doing, man?
I was ready. I stay ready, man.
Play on the floor, kid. Relax.
Concierge service.
Huh?
A full concierge service.
Yeah, this is what hey, what are you doing?
Can't teach what he has in him. It's something that's ingrained in him. He's been like that for his whole life, and that's why you see something special every time you.
And get this, the psychological warfare has already started. Coach Calvin Ford just broke down why this exhibition has more emotional stakes than most professional championship fights. He explained that this represents a clash between old school and new school boxing philosophies that goes to the heart of what the sport is supposed to be about. Tyson represents the era when fighters were gladiators who came to destroy their opponents. Mayweather represents the modern era where technical brilliance and defensive mastery are more valued than knockout power and aggression. Ford believes that Tyson genuinely doesn't respect Mayweather's approach to boxing, viewing it as boring and antithetical to what made the sport great. That philosophical difference, combined with their personal history of trading verbal shots, means this fight has the potential to get very real very quickly.
You see him do an interview, he's just a special person, and he's gonna put on a special show.
Now here's something that should worry every fan who's planning to watch this fight. The verbal warfare between these two has been going on for years, but most people missed it because it was subtle and spread out across different interviews and media appearances. Tyson has consistently criticized Mayweather's personality, suggesting that his confidence is actually arrogance that comes from never facing truly dangerous opposition. Meanwhile, Mayweather has repeatedly minimized the competitiveness of earlier heavyweight eras, implying that fighters like Tyson succeeded because the competition was weaker. These aren't just casual comments or media soundbites. These are calculated shots designed to get under each other's skin. And if you think that kind of psychological pressure won't matter when they're face-to-face in the ring, you've never seen what happens when Mike Tyson feels disrespected.
The idea today was to do 5-6 rounds. Why are you gonna do 5-6 if you're knocking out before? If it was the fight was over. The fight was over. The more you do is just extras. Mike go home today, confident and knocking out. I did my thing. Now you're gonna do conditioning. Can you imagine one more round, you're gonna feel tired, exhausted? No, we did 4, and now we go to do something else now.
Come and get me, Mike. Come on. There we go. That's it right there. Perfect. That's one. Good one, Mike. Come and get me, Mike. There we go. That's round yet. That's round yet. Let's go. Come on, Mike. There we go. Using those legs now. Good. Stay stand. Stay low. Stay ready. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Come on, Mike. Yes, sir. That ring off. Good. Oh, stay ready, Mike. Stay low. Stay ready. Hey, come on, Mike. There we go. Yes.
But here's the most shocking revelation of all. Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's own uncle and former trainer, just went public with comments that should terrify Team Mayweather. Instead of talking up his nephew's chances or downplaying Tyson's threat level, Jeff focused on how the fight's structure as an exhibition will protect both fighters from serious damage. Think about that for a second. Floyd's own family member is more concerned about safety precautions than victory conditions. That tells you everything you need to know about how dangerous they think this matchup really is. Jeff emphasized that both fighters are past their prime physical conditions, which should limit the risk and intensity. But here's what he's not saying. Even past his prime, Mike Tyson hits harder than anyone Floyd has ever faced in his entire career.
In fact, the biggest fight of the history. Why? Because we talk about Mike Tyson. We talk about Netflix, live on Netflix, something that I never had before. If things like that you just can do with me,
So there you have it. This isn't just an exhibition between two retired legends looking for one last payday. This is a personal vendetta wrapped in a business opportunity that could rewrite boxing history. Tyson is training like a man half his age, targeting specific weaknesses in Mayweather's game while fueled by years of disrespect and philosophical differences about what boxing should be. Meanwhile, Mayweather's own family is already talking about safety measures and damage control instead of victory strategies. And all of this is happening while the entire sports world debates whether we're about to witness the greatest comeback story ever told or watch two icons destroy their legacies in real time. So here's my question for you, drop it in the comments. Do you think Tyson's power can solve the puzzle that 49 other professional fighters couldn't crack? Or will Mayweather's technical brilliance prove that old-school aggression can't compete with new-school precision? If this breakdown opened your eyes to what's really at stake in this fight, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell because this story is just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.
Heartbreaking to see a icon go out like that.
Yeah.
You know, and...
But it's crazy also to see him fight at 57 years old. Like, that's
but
nuts.
still, like, he shouldn't have been in there at all. You know, I think it's other ways.
Yeah.
You know, it's other ways for...
But what did he get?
People.
He got at least 20, right?
Yeah, but still, I think...
I think he needed all that money.
Yeah, but with all his connections and things like that, I think people could have put him in the right position to make some money.
If he's got people with him that are looking out for his best interest. But you know how it is. When there's a guy like that that's a big name, usually everybody around him pretends they're looking out for their best interest, but there's always lawsuits later on. You find out someone was stealing money or not paying him what he deserved. There's always a bunch of bullshit involved.
Yeah.
You know, unfortunately, especially if you're not business-minded, which I don't know if Mike is, but most fighters aren't. Most fighters concentrate on fight.
What I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see this entire situation, because there's another layer to this story that goes way deeper than personal beef or training footage. The betting markets are going absolutely insane right now, and the movement of money is telling us something that the media isn't picking up on. Professional gamblers who make their living reading between the lines of combat sports are putting serious cash on outcomes that most casual fans aren't even considering. We're not just talking about who wins or loses. Smart money is flowing towards specific round predictions, knockout scenarios, and even whether this exhibition will turn into something much more serious than anyone officially admits. The odds makers in Vegas are struggling to set accurate lines because they've never had to handicap a fight between two legends this far removed from their primes, with this much personal animosity, under exhibition rules that nobody fully understands.
Tyson, Floyd.
No chance.
Also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
There is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans, but also that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like early 50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't do it anymore.
Against the guy around his size too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
so
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at one time.
Yeah, Floyd is very small.
Roy was super interesting. It was in the very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah,
8 months in. But
and speaking of those exhibition rules, here's where things get really murky. The athletic commissions are being unusually quiet about the specific guidelines that will govern this fight, which is creating speculation that would make conspiracy theorists blush. Some insiders are suggesting that the rules might be more flexible than typical exhibitions, allowing for a level of intensity that could blur the line between entertainment and legitimate competition. Think about it, both fighters have massive egos and decades of professional pride on the line. Do you really believe they're going to step into that ring and pull their punches just because some paperwork says it's an exhibition? Tyson has never thrown a soft punch in his life, and Mayweather's defensive instincts are so ingrained that he'll automatically respond to any real threat with championship-level intensity. The moment one of them feels genuinely threatened or disrespected, those exhibition rules become meaningless pieces of paper.
Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in an exhibition bout in 2026.
I don't know what to say anymore. this whole thing is a big sell, and it's an exhibition, and you're gonna get hoodwinked again, and they're gonna move around, and nobody's gonna get hurt, and that's the state of boxing right now. Now you can reference, well, they've had bad blood in the past. Cool. One of them is 50 years old. He's 48, but we'll just say 50. Floyd is 50 years old. Mike Tyson is 60 years old. This isn't your normal 50 and 60 year old. This is a very weathered, hard miles, 50 and 60 year old fighting for your entertainment. I have no desire to watch.
But here's what's really blowing my mind about this whole situation. The training footage that's been leaking from both camps tells two completely different stories, and I'm not sure most people are reading between the lines correctly. Tyson's videos show him working on explosive combinations and devastating power shots, which is exactly what you'd expect from Iron Mike. But Mayweather's recent training clips reveal something much more interesting. He's not just working on his usual defensive masterclass techniques. Floyd is drilling specific counters to aggressive, power-punching opponents in ways we haven't seen since his fights against bigger, stronger fighters like Canelo or Cotto. His footwork patterns are designed to neutralize forward pressure, and his counter-punching sequences are timed for opponents who commit fully to their power shots. That's not the preparation of someone who thinks this will be a friendly sparring session with cameras rolling.
I got Tyson. You got Tyson over Mayweather? That's huge. Well, I just got Floyd because he's younger, 10 years younger, fast, elusive.
I hear bigger punching, man. You don't get toe up.
Really?
Well, of course.
So if Tyson lands on Floyd, Floyd's going down?
Yeah.
But so when he fought Jake Paul, some fans, they weren't too impressed with Tyson's performance versus Jake Paul. Do you think you'll have a better one versus Floyd?
I just think if they compete, you're gonna get.
I like that. You're sticking with your boy Tyson, though. You're loyal.
Well, I'm just
heavyweight size.
He ain't gonna let nobody get the best.
Now let me blow your mind with something that most people are completely overlooking. The venue selection and production value of this event are unlike anything we've seen in combat sports history. This isn't being treated like a typical boxing match or even a high-profile exhibition. The entire presentation is being designed as a cultural event that transcends sports entertainment. We're talking about celebrity guest appearances, musical performances, and media coverage that rivals the Super Bowl or the World Cup. But here's the crazy part. All of that spectacle and production value creates pressure on both fighters to deliver something memorable and authentic. Nobody is spending hundreds of millions of dollars on production costs just to watch two legends go through the motions for 8 rounds. The financial investment alone guarantees that both Tyson and Mayweather will be under enormous pressure to give the audience something they'll never forget.
Make of it. If you know behind the scenes, this is a bit personal. Mike Tyson's never been a great fan of Floyd Mayweather. I think at one time he said something like, at least I can walk my kids to school. These guys have had a spat back and forth between them. Now my worry is Mike Tyson at 58 years old, he's probably not as physically active in the gym, in the boxing gym as Floyd is. Floyd still keeps himself in relative good condition. Hitting the bag, moving around and things like that. Floyd's 48, Mike's 59, he's a year older than me. But because there's that distinct between them, and it's real, because there's that between them, I think ego is going to get the better of Mike rather than common sense. Common sense is Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather in the day. You look at the size difference between these two. Mike Tyson would eat him alive. But now he's 59 years old, and that style suits a young man. It doesn't suit an old man. Floyd Mayweather, even though he might be smaller, he'll be the one that's got the movement. He's got he's still got the run craft. It's like me getting in the ring with a 14-year-old kid that doesn't know half as what.
And that pressure is creating psychological dynamics that neither fighter has had to deal with at this stage of their careers. Think about Tyson's mindset right now. He's 58 years old, watching footage of himself destroying opponents in his prime, knowing that the entire world is wondering if he has anything left in the tank. That's either going to motivate him to prove he's still dangerous, or it's going to create anxiety about disappointing millions of fans who remember him as an unstoppable force of nature. Meanwhile, Mayweather is facing a completely different kind of pressure. His perfect record and defensive reputation were built against fighters who, despite their skills and power, were still bound by the strategic limitations of professional boxing. Tyson represents chaos, unpredictability, and knockout power that doesn't care about technical perfection or defensive positioning. Floyd has never had to solve that puzzle against someone who hits this hard and moves this explosively.
Mike Tyson exhibition fight.
Oh, man, hey, like I said, Mike don't like man.
Mike don't what?
He don't like Floyd. He always talk bad about Floyd.
Who the face of boxing, coach? Who the face of boxing today?
Face of the boxing?
Yeah.
Y'all know what it is, no?
Here's another angle that's absolutely fascinating and terrifying at the same time. Both fighters are at ages where their bodies can't recover from damage the way they used to, which means every shot that lands has potentially serious consequences. But here's the twisted part, that vulnerability might actually make the fight more dangerous and exciting than if they were both in their primes. Young fighters can absorb punishment and keep fighting through adversity because their bodies bounce back quickly. Older fighters have to be much more careful about the shots they take and the risks they accept. But when you combine that physical vulnerability with massive egos, personal grudges, and the pressure to perform on the biggest stage possible, you get a situation where both men might take risks they shouldn't take just to prove they still belong in the same conversation as their younger selves.
Now, they have a history of bad blood between the two. Well, more so on the part of Mike Tyson. He just simply does not like Floyd Mayweather. They went through some things. They used to be cool. They used to be friends. And Floyd Mayweather even fought on Mike Tyson's cards. But now they have a strained relationship, and now they're going to fight an exhibition bout. This was... I don't even know what to say about this, right? But why not Floyd versus Roy Jones Jr.? Because Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather have been going back.
The international media coverage is also creating storylines that are putting additional pressure on both camps. European sports journalists are framing this as America's attempt to recreate the golden age of boxing through nostalgia and spectacle. Asian markets are viewing it as a test of whether combat sports can successfully bridge the gap between legitimate competition and entertainment programming. Meanwhile, South American boxing analysts are questioning whether this kind of exhibition diminishes the sport's credibility or elevates it to new audiences. All of that global attention means that Tyson and Mayweather aren't just fighting for American audiences or their own legacies. They're representing different philosophies about what boxing should be in the modern era, and that kind of cultural pressure has a way of making fights much more intense than anyone originally planned.
Tyson, if there were some pre-arrangement for this fight, Tyson's animosity, well documented towards Floyd, any chance that he's going in there and saying, hey, screw all, I don't care what agreement was made, if there was one at all, I want to kill this dude?
Nah. He gonna get a check. Floyd's gonna get a check. And they're gonna get a check that's...
But wait, there's something even more significant happening behind the scenes that most people are missing entirely. The undercard for this event is being stacked with fights that could steal the show and overshadow the main event if Tyson and Mayweather don't deliver something special. Promoters are bringing in young, hungry fighters who see this as their opportunity to make a name for themselves on the biggest stage possible. That creates a situation where the entire event builds toward the main event with increasing intensity and violence. By the time Tyson and Mayweather step into the ring, the crowd will have been watching devastating knockouts and warlike battles for hours. The energy in the building will be absolutely electric, and both legends will feel the pressure to match or exceed the intensity of everything that came before them. And here's something that should make every combat sports fan pay attention. The sparring partners and training partners that both camps are using tell us everything we need to know about how seriously they're taking this fight. Tyson isn't working with aging former champions or celebrity boxers looking for Instagram content. He's bringing in young, active professional heavyweights who can simulate speed, power, and aggression at championship levels. Meanwhile, Mayweather is working with fighters who specialize in pressure fighting and aggressive styles that mirror what he expects from Tyson. Neither camp is preparing for a friendly exhibition or a glorified sparring session. They're preparing for a legitimate fight against a dangerous opponent who wants to hurt them and prove something important about their own legacy and current abilities. The medical clearances and physical testing that both fighters have undergone also reveal just how seriously the athletic commissions and insurance companies are treating this event. We're not talking about basic fitness tests or routine physical examinations. Both men have been subjected to neurological testing, cardiovascular stress tests, and comprehensive medical evaluations that are typically reserved for active professional fighters competing for world championships. The fact that both fighters passed those tests with flying colors tells us that, despite their ages, they're both in legitimate fighting condition and capable of competing at levels that could surprise anyone who thinks this will be a casual exhibition between two retired athletes going through the motions for a payday.